From your
There we
scalp
go.
to your feet, ID the question when you speak. Let me ask you something, and I want to just put this straightforward, black and white. When it comes to the weight of dropping a single, you tell me what weighs more, right? So is it the thumbnail or is it the song title? Bust it open. Let's go.
I would say I would say the image. The image has to grab you at first. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only so many words you can come up with, but the image to me is the most important thing, and I'm like a big advocate of this, man. Of just like, take time to get yourself like a good image. You know what I'm saying? Because that's is first of all, it's gonna grab you. I know, like, you know, you look at something like Watch the Throne, right? Like the album artwork, right? It's luxury, right? It's like gold. It's iconic. You know what I'm saying? Like, things like that draw you in because it's going to give you an expectation of what it is that you're going to be listening to. So the title's important as well too, because a good title is going to grab me, but the image is what I see first. So that's what's going to draw me in first.
Good answer. Really good answer.
Well, what's your take, LROC?
I tend to go the title, man.
Title?
I'm a big title dude. I spend a lot of time on my titles. The image.
I actually noticed that on the bottom of the bottom of your album. What is that? So what are those words on the bottom of your the jugging? It says it's like consequence and some other words. But it seems like you're really big on words, though.
Yeah, I'm super big on words. I'm super big on words.
Doesn't LROC stand for something?
Yeah, love, respect, obligations, and currency.
I knew it.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, for me, even from movies to erotica to music, it's like it's all titles for me. You know, I love words, and I'm a wordsmith. I consider myself to be, and so in that realm, in that aspect, I'm looking before I'm listening, before I'm seeing. I'm looking for words. I'm looking for, like, I'm not an image book reader in that sense of not children's books, but like if any kind of novel has a picture, I'm skipping past the picture to look for the next word that's in the paragraph. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
Jill got Larry. I wanted to name one of my songs "Crack," and we ended up naming one of the songs "Crack." But that song, but that song, like, for some reason, it gets more plays than anything else. People see it and be like, "Oh, crack! Well, I want to see what that's about." So that was one of those things. Like, yeah, like things that surprise you, things you don't see.
Taboo,
like, right?
I respect that, man.
Name the song "Meth."
I think the title is like the hardest part to come up with, so I appreciate it more.
Yeah.
But it's also like I would have like a top 5 album covers. I don't have like a top 5 album titles. That's just
that is definitely true. That is definitely true.
That is heavy statement.
I guess it depends on what you're looking for. But I appreciate the title more because, you know, my first album was called Nevergreen. And just to have just to come up with something that just embodies your whole body of your work, you know what I'm saying, your art, under a name. It's like that's,
how long did it take for you to come up with that title?
Yeah, I think it just came to me, man. I might have even stuttered and said it by accident. Well, so I wanted to blow it up into like a whole universe, kind of like Stank on You or something. Like, this is Nevergreen, and it's pretty much just everywhere I grew up between Lacey and like Shoreline and Edmonds and stuff. Like, I was just up and down this I-5. You know,
I was gonna be like, that's a long
for me. So I had T-shirts printed, and that was like Nevergreen, Washington. That's just that particular area.
Man, I think I'm team title as well. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, you know, at first I was thinking, oh, image, I was grab my thing, but I don't know. Titles just seem to set the tone of what you're about to hear. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with title.
This was a good question. I like this.
Definitely with that too, man. I'm definitely on the titles too. The creativity of the wordplay and what draws you in. And usually you got to think of some of the albums we done named today. Aquemini, we don't really think about the graphic, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Aquarius, Gemini unification, that creates.
Although those graphics were fire though.
No, I was about to say, but see, I think of the graphics when I hear Aquemini.
That one for sure.
Okay.
ATL
and that makes Patron right. You know, it's all depending on what you're going for as to what your eye or what you're, you know what I'm saying, what you're naturally going to gravitate towards.
Yeah, I like
both are synonymous anyways, because they're
You need them both for sure.
Yeah, you need them both, bro. It's
That's
at
where
the
the
end of the
question
day,
came from.
yeah,
But
yeah, that's a good question, man.
I feel like it goes in reverse when you're talking about a live show, though. Like I look at a live show poster, then it's all about the image. I don't care what the hell you're calling your party. I want to know what it looks like.
He said, I don't care what you're calling your party. I don't care if it's a shindig. I don't care if it's an album release. I don't
That
care what you're
wordplay
calling
for an
it.
album is everything. Like I'm lactose intolerant, right?
Yeah.
And I also don't kick it with nobody who does no whack type of stuff. So I name my project Lactose Intolerant. You feel me? You know what I mean? We can't digest no whackness. You feel me? It's that same type of concept. And the
I
image
love
of
those
the graphic
names,
was
man,
cool. But you know what I'm saying? I think the wordplay of that means a little bit more, resonates a little bit more than.
I love those names because it's like when you Google something, you know what I'm saying? You really have to come up with something that's not just going to have a bunch of stuff popping up. You know what I'm saying? You can name your album Cars or something.
I ended up coming up with my my album title like late into the, well, no, I wouldn't say late, but like pretty much like halfway into the project and everything. And I remember, you know, sometimes you search, but like you search for like the perfect title and it doesn't come to you. You just have to live life a little bit and it'll come to you. And that's exactly what happened.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? So, so mine was a little bit more organic, but I've also had like, you know, times where I'm like, I already know what this shit's going to be called. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I already know like what's going to go in it, you know? So, but yeah, it's crazy how like, it comes to you at different moments, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be from the jump or whether it be late, you know?
And I feel like as hip hop evolves and as we all grow with it, that's kind of what transitions. That's what made me ask LROC that question earlier about the singles, because it's something it was a question I wanted to ask you because it's something I ask myself all the time. Because like you said, I came up in the album era. I love listening to albums. At the beginning of the year, I'm doing the same thing. I got 3, 4, maybe 5 projects at a time that is sequenced in, seasonal, that's supposed to fit my genres. But the way the listeners are and the new age of social media, I understand that releasing singles and things like that is important. That's why I like playing with titles, because if you can get a catchy title that encompasses the energy of that and you're kind of getting those off, that's what's going to bring you your audience so that you can deliver an album. Because that's the problem sometimes. It's like you don't want to put this whole project like, you know, I did the last album, full-length album I released had Ishmael Butler from Diggable Planets. That's one of my mentors on there. We're doing skits on there, but it didn't quite get received initially as I wanted to. Took a while for that project to grow. So it's like, you know what I mean? You work so hard on this thing, you give it to them. It's like, oh man, okay. Well, I appreciate those of y'all who showed up, but yeah.
I was really looking for a whole much more.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I guess I'm gonna get these music videos right. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna try and fill up the room or something like that, man.